What's up, everybody? It's Shime Rocky back again on the channel, and that is new because for the past 2 weeks I have been planning what to do for the next 2 weeks. Forewarning, this video is completely unscripted. I just know what I want to talk about, not how I want to talk about it, which means that my editing will become a nightmare. So, guys, you might be wondering where I was in the last 2 weeks. Hold on, there's a square on the camera and it's bothering me. Okay, so where have I been in the past 2 weeks, huh? Well, I'm gonna tell ya. Okay, so as you can tell, my ears got bigger because my hair got smaller. So, that is that. Now, as for the past 2 weeks, I knew for a fact I was not gonna film for the past 2 weeks, and I totally forgot to announce to not expect me. Reason being, first week that I missed was because my brother was coming into town, which I also announced. Second week is different because the reason I missed this past Saturday was because I was at the prom. I actually had a great time at prom, so that's what this video is. It's a prom story, which it kind of says in the title, so thank you for clicking on this video. So you might be wondering, what was prom? So why was it amazing, I guess? So prom, I made a magic trick, which is the first thing I want to mention because I predicted the future. How far into the future, you might ask? Pretty far. I was not expecting this magic trick to work at all, but I got it on point, ladies and gentlemen. The magic trick was a mix of red pill and a prediction. So what happened was I filmed myself on April 2nd and the prom was on the 21st. I predicted who I was going to go to prom with. I predicted that 2 girls were going to reject me. I also predicted that I was going to be kicked out of a group and thrown into a different group I also predicted that we were going to have steak for dinner. I predicted all sorts of things. So, like I said, I did a mix with red pill. So before I showed them the video from April 2nd, which I proved with my cell phone, I had her inspect this deck of cards that's completely sealed, and I had her put it in between her hands, and then I had her think of a random card, and she didn't tell me, but she was thinking of a random card. So then I showed her the video, and I predicted exactly what was going to happen. I told her what was going to happen on the date that we went on, that she was going to find this book at the library called Mexican White Boy, and I also predicted that some kids were going to be playing Fortnite and they were going to bother us. I also predicted that this woman was going to come out from the corner, and through her peripheral vision my date was going to get scared from that. A lot of things that I predicted in the future, but the one thing was I predicted what card she was thinking of at that moment. So I showed her the video, and she was thinking of her card with the deck in between her hands, sealed, right, so in the plastic and everything. And I was like, okay, I know for a fact that you're thinking of the Queen of Hearts. Anyway, so I was right, it was the Queen of Hearts, and she opened up her hand, and inside the plastic, not inside the box though, so between the two, was the Queen of Hearts. So what happened? What's with the prom date? What happened exactly? You need details, Ms. Rai. Don't worry, I got you. What eventually happened was that I asked this girl, we'll name her, I can't tell you her real name. Okay fans, I need you to mind meld with me. I want you to send the name of someone you're thinking. Harley. No, that's gay. Hold on, I got it. We're thinking of Janet. No, not Janet. That's an old woman's name. Sorry if you're watching this and your name is Janet. We'll just call her Kate. We'll call her Kate. So Kate and I asked her through a magic trick. I did 2-card Monty. So the 2 cards that ended up in her hand were the cards that, whatever. I asked her to prom using a magic trick because I'm a fool. But yeah, so I asked her through that, and she said yes, and we had a great time. So she has a boyfriend, but we went as friends, and the boyfriend's super nonchalant. So thank you so much, boyfriend, for letting me take your girlfriend to prom. This is a lot weirder than I'm saying it out loud. Either way, I'm really glad that she said yes because it was so much less etiquette. You know, I'm not saying I don't like using etiquette. I think it's proper. I like using etiquette. I think it's very important to use your manners around women. But, you know, in this case, she and I are just really tight. And she and I just goofed around the whole time. The most I did was open the door for her, for the car, every single time we got in or out. But other than that, we were just goofing off the entire time. I got to dance like crazy. I got to look at her like I was a crazy person. She did the same back at me. It was fun. We made fun of other people while we were dancing. That's how horrible we are. But I had a lot of fun, I'm gonna be honest. Prom was crazy fun, and I'm so glad it was with her because it wouldn't be as, I guess, like showboatish. That's my new phrase, showboatish. Anyway, so in either case, I had a lot of fun at prom. Now, the details specifically about prom that made it fun. Let's get into the details. Anyway, so we were walking across that, and our date, like, we didn't have a lot of money to spend, so we decided to just walk around and chill and talk, and it was a lot of fun. Now, so here's an announcement halfway through this video. So while we were walking, I was talking about Camp Barton and how it was haunted and stuff. So it just sparked some memory. I was like, oh my goodness, my Camp Barton documentary was total garbage. And I took it down because it was disgusting. And I already discussed this in the 2K18 announcement video. But if you haven't seen that, I'll leave that in the description box below. Anyway, so it was making me think like, man, I took it down, but you guys, you know, who haven't seen it, they don't know any of the ghost stories or anything. After this video, hopefully, it's going to be either the haunted video I told you about at the beginning of this film that we're going to go vlog about later, or it's second, we're going to put up a documentary thingy kind of interview of me telling you about Camp Barton. Quick rundown, Camp Barton was a scout camp I went to a couple years ago, but it was like haunted as balls. So I'm going to tell you about that in a 3-part series, hopefully. Kind of like the video help series. It's going to be 3 parts. So, fingers crossed that it all goes well, and then I have the perfect stories in mind, and that you believe me, I guess. Anyway, back to prom. So, she got me a nice boutonniere. Wait, I actually still have it. It's dead, but I'll show you. Look at this, guys. Isn't this just the sexiest boutonniere? It even says 2018 on it. Boom. Sexiest boutonniere in the planet. Thank you, Kate. That's not your name. Anyway, so we went to dinner with a friend, and it was at his neighbor's house. Now, a lot of you are like, wow, that's kind of dumb, like, you didn't go out to eat? No, and thank goodness we didn't. That was probably the best dinner I've had in a couple of years. We don't need fancy restaurants, alright? We just need the company of each other and a nice warm meal. Now, thankfully for us, the neighbor was so nice, they gave us like a 4-course meal. I think maybe 5. Hold on, let me think. So the appetizer was this giant bowl of sausage wrapped in bacon, dipped in sauce, that didn't have the taste of bacon with it. At least not too much. They also had toothpicks with grapes and cheese, and they had strawberries and crackers and dip. That was the appetizer, alright? That was just the appetizer. Then they gave us a salad with croutons and tomato with biscuits and gravy. And then the entree came, and that was steak. It was a big steak, like Texas Roadhouse kind of steak. Mashed potatoes and corn. And then we had a chocolate cake from Maggleby's. It was just scrum-diddly-umptious. Let me just tell you, that was a really great meal. Thank you, neighbor of friend. Anyway, so actually right before dinner, I forgot to mention this. I always forget to order. We took pictures by a train track, and it was super nice. We took lots of super nice pictures, and then after the dinner, we went straight to the dance. Now, at the dance, they played some pretty white music, but I was okay with that because, again, I was just with my friend, and we were just goofing around the entire time. Now, the slow dances were super funny because me and my date, we'd be dancing, right? We'd be in our little positions and stuff, and we'd be dancing as either clumsily or properly as possible. It was pretty hilarious. But here's the best part. I look over, and there's this couple, and there's this dude, right? This is the girl's face. He's like this. His nose is literally on her eyebrow. He's like this. Everybody plays the fool. Now the girl, on the other hand, was just like this. Right? This is his nose. There's no exception to the rule. Like, you know when in the movies where they're like this close and they're like brushing each other's lips, like, hey, I heard you didn't brush your teeth this morning. Let me just You know what I mean? Like, it's just like brisking each other. I don't know if brisking is a word, but we're gonna use it. They're like very gently, like, They're like coming in waves, you know. Oh my goodness, are they gonna kiss or not? So we were making fun of them because this is the weird part. He licked her face. Can you imagine that? Just imagining the girl. You know, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with him. Oh, what are you doing? You're licking my face all over the... what? We had a huge conversation about this in a meeting on Sunday, and they're like, oh, if I were that girl, I'd be super angry. I was like, yeah, I'd be like, hey, stop that. I don't like being licked in the face clockwise. Hopefully you don't meet a girl like that. That was happening like on the side of me, and so I had my date in front of me, and then we're laughing at them, and then all of a sudden I start laughing at someone behind my date, and she's like, what? I'm like, they're doing the same thing, exactly this. His nose is on her eyebrow, she's like, and then he licked her face. It was a pretty gay dance. They played some pretty garbage music at some points, like Gucci Gang. Like, Gucci Gang, 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 Gucci Gang. Spent 3 racks on new chain. It was really dumb. It was a fun dance though. They had a really cool balcony that we could go to, and that was just on point. I loved that balcony. It was really cool out there. So after that, we went back to my friend's house, who I'm still not gonna name. We went back to his place and we were looking for a movie to watch. They're like, oh, put on The Greatest Showman. Oh, put on Moana. Put on all these weird stuff. Anyway, so I could see Kong Skull Island was on the list. As a joke, I was like, hey, look, it's King Skank Skull Island. So then everyone, instead of laughing, they're like, oh yeah, let's watch that. As if I said the title correctly. Hey, you're just what I'm looking for. Really? Yeah. Oh ho. Oh, thanks. That's pretty much what happened. I called it not what it was, and they just accepted it as it was. So we watched like the first 20 minutes and people started falling asleep, including me for some reason, because I'm usually up really late. But so we take everyone home. I get home and there's a party of people at my house. It's just my 2 older brothers, their friends like adopted brother or something. I don't know. There's just all these people laying in my living room watching Bugs Life. But I sat down, and as soon as I did, I was just like not tired anymore. I don't know what it is. Whenever I come back from a dance, I'm like exhausted, but as soon as I sit down in my house, I'm like, wow, I'm wide awake. Want to do something, guys? Let's play a board game. Something wrong with my brain. But anyway, so I stayed up until almost like 2:30. Let me just tell you guys, prom was the hottest, like by far the hottest dance I've ever been to. Not like, oh, it is a hot dance. I mean like temperature wise. More than half the guys in the room just like put their neckties down and then unbutton the top and then, you know, untuck their shirts, including me. I was in that group, or I was taking off. Oh, I was just letting my neck breathe. It was impossible. Everyone had their coats off. There was no way. Like, I felt bad for the guys who are like, I need to be a gentleman. I need to wear this coat. And they're dancing around. It's so hot in here. Hey, honey, are you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm dancing. Okay, you got me. Poor fools. I could barely dance in that with just the white shirt and the tie, let alone the coat, man. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. So that was prom in a nutshell for you.